Alright, welcome. So this is just going to be a quick video where I'm going to show you how I added this little FPS counter to my Super Mario Brothers demo. This is again mostly just going to be a debugging tool, so I've added it to my debugging tools here. So if you're having any performance issues in your game and you want to maybe check to see how fast it's running, you can maybe use something like this. Alright, I actually only had to make a couple small upgrades. The main upgrades are going to be to the timer class. So the first thing you'll notice, I've just added an extra variable here called this.ticks, which is just going to be a list. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to keep track of all of the ticks that have occurred in the last second, and then it will be the length of this list that will be our current FPS. That'll be how many frames have been rendered or how many opportunities we've had to update in the last second. So the way I'm going to do that, so the timer already had built in some tick capabilities that would keep track of how long it's been since the last time we called it. So I'm just going to piggyback on that. Every time I get a tick, I'm just going to push it into this ticks list. And then I have a little bit of logic here that all this does is you can sort of see the important piece of the logic here is it's going to sum up all the ticks that are in this list, and it's going to wait until it gets greater than 1. Once it gets greater than 1, that's more than 1 second, and then it's going to dump off any ticks after that 1 second point, so that we only have the ticks that are in the last second. And that way, if you're operating as quickly as you can, as you saw in my demo, you should be getting about 60 frames per second in sort of normal conditions. And if you happen to have any sort of performance problems, you might see that number dipping down. That's going to be because there's fewer ticks in this list. When it cut it off after 1 second, there weren't, say, 60 in there. There were maybe 20 or 30 or however many there were. So this is the key bit, is that this additional logic, which you can add into your timer too if you're using the same one as me, then you can have this ticks keep track of the FPS. Now the second piece of logic you're going to want to add is, well, you need to draw that somewhere. I've chosen to do this in my scene manager because my scene manager is what took care of drawing any of the debug logic that I had in the overlay there. And you can see that's all I just found where in my scene manager I was doing that. That's in the scene manager .draw. I found line 440 for me. It just happened to be where I had this, hey, if the debug's on, then do all this stuff. And here's all my logic for doing that. And then all I've done is added this one line here. I basically just am drawing in the same way we were drawing some of the other text on there. I chose a location to draw it, and then I just reached in. The game engine has reference to a timer object. That's what we were using, that timer object there. And then inside it, we created this ticks list, and I'm just grabbing the length of it and drawing it as my FPS value. And once again, we can see that when it's in action here, it's rendering about 60 to 61, and I think it should be 60, but there might be just a little bit of indiscrepancies or asynchronous flicker in there that's causing us to go up to 61 every once in a while. In which case, this is as accurate as I needed for most of my measurements, so hopefully it will help in your own debugging purposes. So hope that was helpful, and thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in that next video.